explain a little thing about Chinese culture here. About Chinese culture is all about family. It's it's really, really all family is number one most important thing to Chinese. Okay, so uh, basically, when a young Chinese get married, they do that with the full intention of having children and having a family. Because what happens is, first of all, the Chinese consider 50 years old old. They think that that's old. Now, where we come from, 50 is not really that old. Most people work at 50. Most people are still working at 60, right? And they're active, they're agile. You know, you see them out jogging in the park, and they're playing sports, or I see them on bicycles sometimes, or Jeff, they're out on the golf course, right? They're very active. The Chinese, the younger generation now is becoming like that, but the traditional Chinese, 50's old. You shouldn't be doing anything at 50. You should be just relaxing and retired and not do anything. At 60, I mean, that's like you got one foot in the grave at that point in their mind. 70, there's like, huh? You're still alive? This is how they think. And so it's it's Chinese tradition that, and it's pretty beautiful when you think about it. When a couple has a child or children, they raise them as best they can, and they're depending on that child or children to grow up and be a productive member of society and be able to earn a decent enough living that they can take care of them when they're old. And old to them is over 50. So the children know this. This is Chinese culture. They're all brought up in this to think that, hey, it's my responsibility to take care of my parents when they're old, because they won't be able to work and they won't be able to make a living, and someone has to take care of them. Someone has to cook for them. Someone has to clean for them. Someone has to do the shopping for them. Someone has to give them a house to live in if they don't have one. And so that is the responsibility and the job, and it's expected of the children to do that. And the children know this. And the children, when they get to college age, they take college really seriously because they want, and they're expected to, and they don't want to fail. They have to go out and make a living for themselves, and they are expected to take care of their parents. If the parents don't already own a house, they're going to build a house for their parents, and they're going to make enough money that they can buy two houses, one for him and his wife, and one for his parents and her parents. Three houses they got to buy if they don't have one. Now, a lot of them, if they have a house already, that's fine, right? But this is the responsibility that they have and that they're faced with. And so that's how it is here. That's the culture. And it's really, it's beautiful when you think about it. Doesn't that make sense? Doesn't that think that way that it should be? Because like I think now in the modern day Western world, especially in the States, how many people think about that? First of all, more kids now come from broken homes than ever be. There's more families are broken families now than are families that are still together. So these kids don't even have fucking two parents. Most of them don't even know who their fucking father is or was, or their mother or whatever. So they don't feel an obligation to take care of anybody except themselves, and a lot of them can't even do that, right? So, a lot of the elderly, especially if they're not still married in their senior years, or have close family, they're on their own, and they end up starving to death or freezing to death in the winter because they couldn't pay the heat bill, or the heat stroke in the summer because they don't have an air conditioner in their house, or they live alone and the guy falls down the stairs and there's nobody to call, and this is what goes on. So that part of Chinese culture is the one thing that really, really makes sense. It really makes their family so strong. And it used to be that way in America like 100 years ago, but we've lost that. We lost that with the nuclear family. It slowly deteriorated over the last 70, 80 years. And, but it makes sense. Yeah, so that's like just a real, just a quick crash course on China and many things. I could talk about this for 12 hours, but this video has already gotten very, very long. And so that's what life is like here, and that's the deal. All right, so that's all I have to say for now because this has gotten too long. See you later. Bye bye.